Hey everyone, welcome back to another video here at Justin's Fish Room. Today we've got a video planned, basically just going to go through each of the tanks and basically just show you what this setup is here just at my home. And yeah, it's really exciting. The next fish room that's going to be an addition of this is going to be a lot bigger than this, and it's just an amazing place to just experiment with improving the genetics of a variety of different rams, strengthening even further, improving those lines that we already have, making sure that we're constantly improving so that whenever we do a release on the website, the Australian public are always getting the best quality that we can produce. So, very exciting. I'm just going to show you guys what we have in this fish room at the moment. There's kind of a lot going on, but kind of dialed down back a little bit because we are planning to move into the other fish room, quite a few different lines, so forgive me for that, but let's go through it, and it's going to be a great video, so glad you can tag along. Let's get into it. Alright, so this is my community fish tank. Had this tank for so long, since the beginning of YouTube, my YouTube channel, and at the moment I'm actually going through a bit of an Amazon stage where this tank is being filled with tannins again, thanks to the Indian almond leaves that we grow. We've got quite a bit of wood in there, a lot of sand, some of like the coarser sand as well, you know, to make sure that the rams are happy with their sifting that they love to do. We've got all different types of plants, mainly sword plant, and yeah, this is just a tank for holding really, so for a lot of the rams that I think are going to be really good looking when they get older. They go in here. You can kind of see them, some of them in the back there. So they come in here for basically just grow out and make sure that their colors get nice and developed, and then I decide which ones I'm actually going to breed out of them. This is another breeding tank. So this is one of the tanks that actually has a heater. I've got a blue-black pair in here that are heterozygous for black celestial. For those of you who don't know, breeding a black celestial into a black celestial is actually quite a bad thing to do, because if you breed the two traits together, you actually get a compounding of the negative traits, and there's a lot of traits in the black celestial that are pretty cool when you combine them with the with the blue-black or a GBR for outcrossing. But if you combine them, you get all sorts of genetic problems, and the fish just look really terrible. So I'll show you the results of these guys. These guys haven't spawned yet, but this crossing is really effective at getting some really nice looking fish going. So I'll show you a tank with some of those babies. Alrighty, so here you can see a tank full of blue blacks, beautiful GBRs as well. I mean, look at the quality of that GBR with the bright red. So that's a trait that we're really selecting for, is getting that really nice red pinstripe, really nice orange ventral fins, and you can see some really stunning females. And these guys are probably the best quality I've produced yet, thanks to our breeding program that we have going here. We've selected out a heap of celestials. We do have some nice blue blacks and some that will become black. So something like that would, this female here, she might go really dark. As you can see next to her, that's a blue black. She's a bit darker. So we might use those for future brood stock, because they are very, very strong in terms of genetics. And then, yeah, we just got heaps of these really excellent quality young GBRs, and it just blows my mind at how easy it has been to work with such great lines and to develop the lines further. You can really see, you know, that female blue-black will definitely be a breeder in the future. She's stunning, looks like a jewel almost. She's just so beautiful. And then we'll pair her off to her male, who doesn't really show off his colors right now, probably because of the lighting, but his colors are really, really stunning in the right light. But so this is a tank just full of a bunch of really good quality fish. We're still selecting out some brood stock from here, but most of these will be sold on to customers via the website. So go have a look at the website if you haven't done so already. It's justinsfishroom.com. We also have a Facebook page that's under Aussie Ram Farm, so go check that out. Alright, so in this tank here, we have some growouts of a black celestial spawn. So you can see the spawns are quite a lot smaller, and it's harder to see here because they're in a lighter environment, but there's a lot of really dark fry and then a few really light fry. And I've put them with a GBR, or 2 GBRs from a different spawn that are a bit older, basically to just guide them and show them what to do in such a large tank, which is a tactic I use to really integrate them into the new environment. You know, they go from a container into something like this. It's good for them to kind of get a little bit of guidance, as these fry tend to school very easily. Alrighty, so the only active breeding tank I have in this room at the moment is this setup here. You can see it's very heavily planted, heaps of botanicals going on in here, wood, all different types of plants, Subvasa. It's very, very productive as well. We're getting a spawn from these guys once every week to once every week and a half, and the quality of these blue-black heterozygous, which means carrying the gene for the black celestial, so the grandchildren of Beluga, my really famous male, if you guys have been watching for a while. These guys produce a heap of really big, healthy black celestials, which is exactly what we want. We don't want any of that stuff, all those fish that are weaker in genetics. We want to avoid that at any cost. So this, I found, has been the best way to do it. Alrighty, so on the floor tank here we have another spawn. There's quite a few rams in here actually. I don't think it does it quite the justice that it deserves, but there is a lot of rams in this 3-foot tank. This is just a 3-foot tank with 2 sponge filters and a heater set at 28 degrees Celsius. You can see the tannins are quite high, which is really good for their development. Those are Indian almond leaves that we grow, and there is a bit of lace plant there, freshwater lace plant. And so yeah, that's basically the setup for the grow out. I like using 3-foots because as long as I keep the water very clean, so every 2 days to 3 days maybe do 100% water change or 2 80% water changes, you know, they grow really well. So these guys have grown already as soon as I put them in here. They actually came from this tank here, and not so long ago they really look like these guys. So very, very effective way of doing it, and I'm very happy with the results. So these guys are also from the pairs of rams that I've selected the previous round that were excellent. So I'm really excited to see what these guys turn out to be like. Alright, so the Nano tank is still going strong. This tank is amazing. I don't have to do anything to it besides top it up, and it's still got quite a few cherry shrimp in it. I use these cherry shrimp for pleco eggs. They keep the fungus off the pleco eggs, which is really neat. And they've kind of got like a bit of a schedule going in here, so they come out in the morning and in the evening when I feed them. So I just feed them fish food. They love it. They absolutely love it. They also get mulberry leaves and Indian almond leaves too. Just recently put this rock in, and they've been scavenging off that quite a bit as well. You can see some cherry shrimp there. So that I'm working on their lines again, just as a bit of a project. I had neglected the culling kind of process just because I didn't want to really cull them, but now I'm starting to take the ones that I don't want to keep in the breeding program, and I kind of just put them into the breeding tanks, and the rams just live with them. If they reproduce, I don't think any of the babies have survived, but that's just the life cycle in the fish room, I guess. But yeah. Alrighty, so here is a black celestial spawn. You can see heaps of fry in this spawn. The water is milky at the moment because there is some egg yolk food in the water. If you want to know how to make that egg food, I have just put a video up on YouTube. and you can go have a look at that. These guys are all looking extremely healthy. They're eating lots of yolk. You can see, let's see if I can get this to, you can see their stomachs are nice and round. There hasn't been a single bit of BBS in here yet. I'm still hatching out their little BBS, and that means that they're eating the egg yolk food very well and growing up nicely. So that's what we want. Alright, so this is another breeding tank that I've actually just set up. This was completely empty and cycling. You can see I've got heaps of sand in there for them, a really cool piece of wood with a pebble in there, and this is actually going to be for another pair of the RAMS carrying the Black Celestial gene, because I really want to make sure that I'm getting those good quality Black Celestials in those spawns, and so this is going to be a perfect setup for that. I've got a GBR Juvenile in there just doing a bit of cycling for me. Even though this tank is purely cycled, I just need to make sure before I put some other RAMs in. And yeah, I'm actually very happy with this tank. And we've got one more tank to go actually. I forgot that we had more tanks up here. These are on the top of the shelf, so yeah. I'll show you the last. Alright, so this tank actually doesn't have a light yet. I've ordered a light and it's coming soon. This is another spawn of blue, black and GBRs, and they're just after the bottom or the floor tank, before the bottom floor tank spawn, so they're a bit bigger than them, and they'll be going into an even bigger grow out in about 2 weeks time. So sorry about the glare. There is no light in here, but I just wanted to show you this tank. And yeah. Alright, so this is a grow out tank. It's a 3-foot tank, standard dimensions. We have a large canister filter. We have a heater set at 28 degrees Celsius and an air stone, just to make sure that we're keeping up the aeration in this water, considering it is a bit warmer. And in here you can see that we have a bunch of GBRs that are getting some beautiful colors. You can see a bit of sparring going on there, which is great. You can see a blue-black male who's going to be an absolute stunner when he gets older. These guys are so young and they're already showing so much color, which is just, you know, exactly what we need. And so these guys will be going to their new homes shortly. They just have a bit more growing to do, but you can pretty much sex these guys with 100% accuracy now. So you can see the tunnels are just so good because they give them something to claim. You want to make sure that the fish are really working, you know, and they're exercising, similar to how you would get a betta to flare at its own reflection. So alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions about any of the things you saw, anything you want clarification on, just don't hesitate to contact me. I always respond to everyone's messages, so you know, that's a no-brainer. If you have something, just contact me on any of my platforms, Instagram, Facebook, email even, or on here. So alrighty everyone, I hope you have a great week coming up, and happy fish keeping, and I'll see you in the next one. See you everyone.